We'll widen the picture out, show you what's going on. I'm going to show you some movement of everything. This particular area of thunderstorms, this huge area right on into here, developed earlier in the afternoon, and it was questionable and on down into here. It was questionable as to whether it would survive, but it did indeed as it moved through the rain-cooled air that was over the top of the Hampton Roads cities. Numerous tornado warnings. We have yet to report any reports of damage into the Hampton Roads cities. We did have damage certainly toward the Waverly area, right on into here.
Get right to Jason in the heart of the area that looks like it may be the hardest hit, Jason.
Yeah, we're here in Waverly. We're on Main Street. Let me just step out of the way real fast. Let me go this way, and Aaron Kurtz is going to show you what's going on. This is Main Street, obviously the heart of this small town. As you mentioned, 2 people here died when that storm came through just a little while ago. And take a look at some of the damage. We are here in this one little area, but obviously you have extensive damage, stuff that we have not even seen yet. I heard a church was damaged. I heard a mobile home also had some damage. We've also seen pictures of cars that were twisted and turned over on 460. And right now they have 460 closed off.
Again, we are looking at that secondary line to move on in. We still have a tornado watch in effect, which means conditions could develop. Of course, we now know what a tornado warning is, and that's where conditions did develop, of course, with the loss of life over the Waverly area. And we're going to go back to more news with Anita and Stephanie.
Yeah, well, when you talk about the Waverly area, we have been getting so many pictures and videos in from that area that we have been trying to get those on air as often as possible. Here are some of them. Lots of damage in that area, and of course now we know 2 deaths being reported from that area as well.
Yes, our reporter Liz Kilmer, who's also working the phones and making her way to the scene there, is reporting that there are also people injured, and they're setting up a command center at 460 in Mayfield at the shopping center there.
Sharon Fason's over here. Karen, let's talk to Sharon real fast. Sharon, you said you weren't here when it came through, but you were at home. You listened on the scanner.
Yeah, and they had the emergency alert came in on the broadcasting network came in, and I was going to see if it had gone to my house out in the country. And so I picked up my daughter and came back because we knew that people were injured. And so it was really serious down the road at the funeral home.
And as he was giving us that information from right there in the heart of Waverly, we also got word that back here in Hampton Roads that Hampton schools are now being dismissed. So if you were wondering about the schools, we just said a moment ago that many of the kids had to shelter in place. Hampton schools are now being dismissed.
And we have some more breaking news coming in from our live center. Let's go to Tom Shad there now in the newsroom. Tom?
Yeah, Stephanie, we just got this press release here from Virginia State Police, and it sounds like they're being much more careful in terms of how they are reporting this situation in Waverly. They are not confirming any fatalities at this time. However, Wavy News 10 did confirm that 2 people died from game and inland fisheries. So you see these agencies may have some conflicting information. State Police electing to go a little bit more cautious at this point before they decide to confirm any fatalities at this point. We've had reports also of up to 3 people dead.
But you'll note the clock. I've added a clock here so you can see the very beginning of this time-lapse sequence up to the present time. And I've centered it basically over the Waverly area. And you'll be able to see at 2:28, there it was, approaching the Waverly area and just west of town as well as it moved on through. So again, that's what was going on at that particular time.
A tree damaged home here on 80th Street.
Yeah, this home is condemned, and you can see why. We're told that 2 adults and 4 children are displaced because that's not sure if they were inside the home at the time, but we haven't heard of any injuries from that. Just know that a tree, as you see, fell on that home in Newport News. But of course, we have been following very closely Waverly, which seems to be the hardest hit area, where a probable tornado touched down this afternoon and claimed 2 lives, as we know thus far, and injured many people, as we've been told.
And we've been checking back in with Jason. As you can see, he's still on the move. Jason, tell us where you are and what you're seeing.
Guys, we have left Main Street. We're walking down towards where we have heard the most damage. We're told right over these train tracks we should start seeing it. That's where the mobile homes came from that were, as you just heard Sharon Fason talk about, that whatever was in the sky picked those mobile homes up and threw them across 460. And we do believe that's where the fatalities came from. We do not have that confirmed yet, but that's what people here in this small town are talking about. You can see up ahead, as soon as we cross over these train tracks, that's where you see a lot of people are standing around. We walk up here. Now, we left Main Street. If you were with us about 15, 20 minutes ago, we showed you some of the damage on Main Street. Some of that damage was mainly roof damage, maybe cosmetic to some of the homes. And you can see we're starting to see some of the major damage that we're told is here in this area. Okay, I'm sorry, Aaron. So I'm being told that at least one mobile home is completely gone. There's a laundromat up here too that is completely gone. And guys, let me let you know, back in the booth, I'm actually on the live truck IFB. You guys know what that means. We're getting away from the truck, so I might lose that here. And if that happens, I'll just wrap up. But just wanted you guys to know. You can see some of the big trees down. Look at the force of Mother Nature right there. I mean, that's just amazing. How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Were you guys around when it all came through?
No, I was at work.
Work? Okay.
Just getting home.
Do you live down here?
Yeah, I live right here.
What do you guys think about all this? I mean, the damage.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah, very sad. We knew them. So
So you knew the people that were in the home?
yes.
Yes.
Tell me
we did.
about them a little bit. Who were they? What?
It's friends. We're friends. We grew up with him, and we know his family. So we just ask God, comfort the families.
You guys are obviously a small, tight-knit community here.
Yes.
When something like this happens, talk about what this is like for the community.
Yeah, it's a small community, and very small, Waverly, and something like this happening is very devastating. So we try, to pull together and help one another, and comfort one another in tragedies like this.
What is your name?
My name is Eddie Board.
Eddie, when you look down the street, I can see some washing machines there. Describe to me what I'm seeing or what used to be there.
It used to be the Waverly Laundromat.
That whole thing.
Yes.
When you look at it and all you see is the frame.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's sad because as a kid I grew up and I watched a lot of clothes down in that laundromat, and I'm just afraid there wasn't nobody in there when it came through.
We're going to walk back here. You can see the extent of this damage here to this house here in Newport News. Quite frankly, the tree fell on the house, and from what officials are telling us, the house is condemned. The family can't even go back in the house right now. I was just speaking to the father. They have a baby here with this family. They're a mom, a dad, and 4 children, a small child. And he said they grabbed all they could for their baby and got out of the house as soon as they could. We want to go back here and talk to him. His name is Mike Booth. Mike, describe for us what you heard and what you saw just before you came out to see the tree on your house.
Well, just pretty much. We heard a loud noise. I went to the back room, look out the window at the tree to see if I thought it was the shed, and next thing I know, the tree was coming into the bedroom.
And tell me what you're thinking now that you're looking at this house. You said you've only been here about a year.
Pretty much, we've lost everything now, and time to start over.
This right here, guys, this used to be a laundromat, and you can see it. I mean, it just, whatever came through just picked the roof right up and left the machines right there. It's just a mess here, and obviously we do know that 2 people were dead. Now, what is your name? You are?
Desmond Gardner.
Desmond Gardner. You said you were sitting in your silver Altima right
Yes,
there.
sir.
And tell me what you heard, or what was it like as it came through?
Well, I was sitting in my car, me and my uncle was sitting in my car, and first we see the sparks from the power lines coming down and tree branches and stuff flying. And then we seen the railroad guard track come shooting across the yard in the dumpster. And then the wind actually picked the car up and shifted us to the side. And all we can do was just hold on to each other and pray.
You're in the middle of this. What is this like?
It's just a tragedy because I lost a good friend in the same process, as well as I could have lost my own life. So I'm just thankful to be here. Thank the Lord that I'm still here.
Desmond, real fast. Aaron, can you just zoom out a little bit and let's let Desmond sort of show us exactly, talk us through what are we seeing here, because I know when you look at it now, it's nothing what it looked like about 2 hours ago. So tell me what I'm looking at here.
Well, this used to be our local laundromat, completely brick. It tore the brick down. That's my uncle's trailer.
Right behind that, right there.
Right
the one
behind
with the damage
laundromat.
there. And that's
Yes.
where that was, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the yellow
There's
house.
another yellow house, and there's another double wide that is not completely even there no more. You never known it was there. It just picked it up and took it clean across the highway.
You ever seen anything like this before?
No, sir. Twister, the movie, maybe.
Tom, Nicole, let me start by just saying the family that we're about to tell you about is pretty thankful that they made it out of this house alive. Take a look at this damage. We want to show you another look here. This is the tree that fell on the house here in Newport News. A family of 6 was inside this house when it happened. A mom, a dad, and 4 children, a small baby. In fact, a 2-month-old was inside. And you can just see how big this tree is by the extent of the damage that it's done here on the house. You can see the family's personal items and everything here all outside, and the family saying they're having to start over because of this. We're joined by Mike Booth. He and his family were inside at the time. Mike, tell me what you're thinking as you look at the damage here to your home.
Just pretty much it's time to start all over. Just, there's nothing we can do now.
Describe what you heard just before this tree came down.
Sorry about the dog.
Yeah, he's pretty ready to play, but thankfully he's out and he's safe as well.
Yeah. Pretty much we were in the living room. We heard a noise. We thought it was the shed doors coming open. So we went to the back door, looked. The shed was fine. We're just wondering what the noise was. And then next thing you know, the tree's coming down through the house. It was loud.
Describe for us, if we take a look back here live, our photographer, Greg Gadberry, if you can pan here, Mike, describe for us where this tree landed in your home.
That's right on top of the master bedroom, on top of the bed.
And so you were telling me that had this happen at another time, things may have been different.
Oh, absolutely. If it happened in the middle of the night, I would not be here today.
Pretty thankful that it happened when it did. Unfortunate, of course, but glad you and the family made it out. How is everybody handling what they're seeing here?
It's just rough, just very stressful.
Of course, now you said you have to start over. Like we said, your dog here is pretty ready to play, but glad everyone is out safe and is okay, but definitely having to rebuild. Yeah. All right, Mike, thank you for talking to us. And Tom, Nicole, we're going to be here throughout the afternoon. We can tell you that officials have condemned the home. Mike was telling us a bit earlier that they are not allowed back in the house. When they had to get out, they took all they could. They took some clothes for the baby and things like that, but so far haven't been able to get back in and won't be able to get back in until they can fully get everything repaired. We're going to send it back to you guys back in the studio.